Hi folks, we're here today to install our ride enhancement kit on a 2008 Winnebago Destination on the Freightliner custom chassis. This kit is going to come with our custom-made rear sway bar, our front comfort control valves, two of our custom-tuned 46mm rear shocks, and two of the 60mm custom-tuned front shocks. But today we've got another opportunity for you. We're going to show you just how we do our testing and how we do our valving. So come and join me today.
Hello, my name is Jeff Marks. I work with Bilstein of America. I currently do shock tuning for Bilstein, and what you see here is you've got a Class A motorhome that we're currently doing tuning for, and it's into our second ride that we're performing right now. We did a baseline on what the standard package was. We're currently working with Source Engineering to try and improve the damper performance, the overall ride performance characteristic of the vehicle. We've got a predetermined ride route that we're going through, and we're going to try to evaluate the shock absorbers, how it performs going through the different events, and hopefully by the end of our session we'll have a vehicle that outperforms others in this class. As we're rolling through a lot of these events, hopefully you can pick up through the front of the vehicle. You can see some roll to the vehicle, potentially some bounce in the vehicle. We're trying to make improvements so that it's not too detrimental to the ride of the vehicle. We'll be doing different vehicle speeds through these events to try and evaluate how the shocks are handling them. So far we've done a shock change to the front and the rear of this vehicle. We mounted on the Bilstein 60mm front damper across the front axle, 46mm damper in the rear axle. We've also added an 1 3/4 sway bar to the rear of this. Source Engineering had designed that and installed it as well. So that's currently where we stand with this vehicle. Differences from the sax dampers that were on here, noticeable improvement in terms of control. The jounce control, the compression control in the front of this vehicle, much more in line with what we believe the driver would choose to accept. Doesn't have that dive when you would hit the brakes, so that added control to the vehicle was a huge advantage over the last shocks that were on here.
Jeff from Bilstein of America will be taking these shocks apart, revalving them, and putting them back together several times during the course of this week to create the most comfortable drive with the least amount of driver fatigue.
We've got a 46mm diameter piston, 60mm diameter piston, and you can see by the larger area in a 60 as opposed to a 46, you can develop greater damping forces and allow this piston to work better on vehicles that require higher damping forces. So by changing these different metal shims that we have in here by either their diameter or their thickness, you can increase or decrease the forces. And again, you can see if you have a larger area, you can create greater damping forces. So with the 60mm, it is a much friendlier damping system to have on these larger, heavier weight vehicles. We're going to make a change to the rebound side of the valve stack, which should give us some added control, make the vehicle a little bit more tighter or aggressive feeling, and that should lend itself to having better high-speed, large swell events, giving greater control to the body, and it'll end up making the vehicle more comfortable for longer trip excursions.
I changed the shock so many times I could do this on my sleep.
In addition to the sway bar and the custom-tuned Bilstein shocks, a key component of the REK206, which is available for the Freightliner XC chassis, is the addition of 4 comfort control valves. We have 1/4 inch in the rear, 1/2 inch in the front, and the reason that we include these in the kit is it allows us to meter the air going in and out of the airbag. We allow the air to escape the bag under compression and then meter the air coming back in. They're infinitely controllable and tunable since we manufacture them in-house.
We've continued our ride development. We've made a change to the front, and that's the procedure that we follow. We'll make change to the front and the rear dampers, hoping to come up with the perfect ride for this vehicle, for this suspension setup. This last ride we happened to make a change to our rebound control in the front, and we're going through the same path that we laid out and are evaluating the characteristics of the ride to see if there's an improvement. Maybe we've gone too far, maybe not, but we're trying to optimize the ride with the valving system that we have on the chassis.
Well, folks, now you have a little insight on how we go about designing our ride enhancement kits, as well as how we tune our shocks. I want to give a special thanks to Paul Everett's RV Country for loaning us the coach on the Freightliner chassis, and to Bilstein of America. And thank you.